Hi, friends, again. This is attorney Marina Shepelsky coming to you from New York, but my office is in New York and Brooklyn, in New York. I'm working from home today. I live in New Jersey, so I'm actually doing the show from New Jersey. Hope you're having a great day. Just saying hello to everyone here. Just saying hi, and today we will talk about the news, immigration news, specifically. We will talk about what's going on, and we will talk about, changes in the immigration system in the last week or so. Okay. I'm just gonna open my news here. Okay. The biggest news this week, so let's get right into it. And by the way, post your questions. Good morning. Just saying some good mornings to Demilola, Oni. Hi, good morning on YouTube there. Post your questions in the comments and I will get to you a little bit like later. By the time I talk about my news, I want to build up some questions and answer them. Hello from TD. I'm happy to see you guys here watching. I'm going to wait a little bit for more people to join, but I'm going to begin. So the biggest news this week is the release of the September visa bulletin. So the September visa bulletin. Look, in August, end of July, when the August bulletin was released, everyone had a heart attack because a lot of the dates were pushed back by the Department of State, unfortunately. Instead of jumping forward, they jumped back, and people found out, some for the first time, that yes, Department of State can do that. Sometimes they jump back. It's called retrogress. They jump back in the dates they're processing because they're behind and they cannot keep up with everyone. So the bad news was that in August things jumped back, and I'm going to open here August just to give you an understanding, and you can Google the August visa bulletin for United States, for US. The website is travel.state.gov, and then you can just find the August 2023 bulletin just to see what I'm talking about. So compared to July, they pushed some dates back, sadly. A second. I'm just opening everything up on my screen. Oh, turned off. Okay, so looking at the August 2023 bulletin, the family petitions, right? F1, unmarried sons and daughters of citizens, they're working on 2015, 8-year, even more wait. F2A, kids under 21 and spouses of green card holders. Oh my God, it went back to October 2017. This is for people who are waiting overseas, right? And so on. Everything was backed up. The only people who could file inside US were the green card holder and spouses of those green card holders and kids who are inside the United States. If you're outside, you're screwed. The waiting lines are so long. And then the work green card people, EB1, EB2, EB3, also got pushed back in August, right? Then we're thinking, okay, maybe things will get better in September, right? In September, I opened the September bulletin that was just released like the day before yesterday. In September, things did not change for F1. In September, they did get pushed back a little bit forward for F2A because that's the spouses and kids of green card holders, but not a lot. Okay, and the work visa, work green card, EB1, EB2, EB3 categories also hardly changed. So everything is still very long, and everything is a long waiting line, and you have to check the adjustment of status charts to see who can file for adjustment of status and if the visa is current inside the United States. So we could take a look at that. Just saying hi to Bhavin Patel, says, good morning, Maria. Any updates on the Dignity Act? Unfortunately, no updates on the Dignity Act. This summer has been really slow for all the bills, the legal bill, like the proposal for different laws. So nothing. Alex Bill says hello. Hi, hello. Okay, and I will answer the other questions later on Instagram. On Instagram, I saw one question. Hishignes Hashman says, hi, hope you're doing well. I'm a fan from India. Amazing. Thank you so much. I have a fan from India. Then Tajin Tinder on Instagram says, hi, ma'am. You are beautiful. Thank you so much. Very, somebody Tolik says hi in Russian to me. My Russian show is on my Russian channel at 12. So log in at 12 on the Russian channel, Russian language channel, I should say. Okay. So let's go on with the news today. We talked about the retrogression of visa numbers. Don't have anything else to add about that. Dignity Act, still no news. No news with the Dignity Act. What else? This week we saw another back and forth, unfortunately, with the third country transit ban. So first, the federal court, no, let's go all the way back. So in May this year, Title 42 ended. So no more denying people at the border for COVID reasons. So they switched back to using the third country transit ban that started to be used during Trump times, but actually was even used before. So that means people asking at the border if they lived in another country for even a little bit, if they traveled through another country, they couldn't enter. They wouldn't be able to get asylum at the border and enter, right? So some organizations actually took Department of Homeland Security to court. There was a federal lawsuit, and the judge in California said it's illegal and they should stop using it. But the government, DHS, took it to the appeals court. And the appeals court for now said to continue using it. So the transit ban as of today is still in force, but it's not the final outcome because the lawsuit in the appeals circuit court is still happening, and it's going to take a while for them to make a final decision. But for now, temporarily, it's still being used. So, if you're thinking of asylum at the border, if you want to cross U.S. border from Mexico or Canada, and you lived somewhere or you traveled and stayed for like a few days in another country, you will have to be able to explain why you didn't stay there, and a lot of people will just get denied. I had a gentleman talk to me this week, interesting consultation. He's originally from Romania, and he actually went from Romania to Canada. In Canada, they also have a really, interesting immigration system that I really don't understand because I'm not a Canadian attorney. But apparently, they received refugee status in Canada in 2018, and they were legal in Canada and living there. And then they went to the border with U.S. now in May this year, 2023, and somehow were able to enter U.S. I think that they probably did not tell the officials at the border that they had status in Canada. But for me, when they came, they showed me the paperwork, and I said, you have a serious third country transit ban situation. You resettled, you lived in Canada for like 5 years prior to coming to US. I don't think you will win asylum because the judge will say you could have stayed in Canada. It's not like you had nowhere to run, like the refugees say. So we'll see what happens with that case. They're still thinking about what they're going to do and the outcome. But it's just interesting that it's a good example of what this transit ban and a resettlement situation is for people who file for asylum. In other words, if you lived in another country for a year or more and you had a chance to stay there, you're going to have a problem getting asylum with an immigration judge in US because you have to prove you had nowhere else to go. And if you had a place to be and you had Canada or another country where you lived, some people I met came here from Italy, Hungary, other European countries, sometimes Ukrainians, right? You're going to have to prove why you didn't stay in Hungary, why you didn't stay in Italy and ask for asylum there and instead chose here. And if you like America better, that's not an answer. It has to be related to asylum. It's a refugee situation with asylum. So hopefully this is a good explanation for those people thinking about asylum. Anyway, I have questions here. One is from Christofina. She says, my husband filed for his children 2018. They got approved on May 5th, 2023. I assume that your husband is a US citizen. We sent it to NVC May 8th, but we haven't heard anything. They're 27 and 22. Do we have any chance of them coming soon, or they're affected? So this is good that you're asking me. I'm opening the September 23 visa bulletin. So yes, they are affected. I just talked about it. If he's a citizen, your husband is a citizen, and they're in the F1 category. If they're in the F1 category from any other country, like they're unmarried single kids of US citizens, the F1 category, they're looking at January 2015 right now, and anything filed after. So they might be able to get something, but let me see. Final action dates for family-sponsored preference cases. They're not in the US, I assume, right? They're overseas. They're in another country. It looks like right now they're working on 2015. So I think your husband and your husband has to wait about 2.5, 3 more years. So even though the petition was approved, there's no visa available, Christofina, yet. So you still have to wait and keep looking at the visa bulletins that come out every month in the F1, F like Frank, 1 category in the first chart. All right. And I don't think they're going to age out. They're already 27 and 22. So you don't have to worry about that. Good morning. I said that already. Javier says good morning. Porfirio Diaz says buenos dias. Hello, my friend. I have a question about coming back from Mexico. An immigration officer asked me, so Porfirio traveled on advanced parole. This is a great example because people always ask me, can I travel on advanced parole? And Porfirio listened to me and went to Mexico, and then he came back, and the officer asked him how I got my advanced parole and what I should. Oh, you didn't leave yet. You're still thinking. So you basically would have to say you got your advanced parole through your green card case. You don't need to give any more details than that. Damilola Oni says, my wife submitted my I-130 form last June. I want to know the processing time. She's a U.S. citizen. I'm outside the state. It's going to take around 1.5 years to get to the point of NVC processing an interview. So I would give it another 4 or 5 months, Damilola. Alex Bill says, what about I-601 waivers? Why it takes so long? It takes about 3 to 3.5 years for I-601As. So yeah, they take a long time. I'm sorry, Alex. Keto TV says any updates about VAWA. There's nothing new with VAWA, but apparently there's some statistics out there that most cases for like spouse VAWA get approved, but some cases that are filed through children over 21, not as many get approved as the spouse cases. Because usually you do need to show more than like just, being upset with your kids. Like I feel like you need to show a little more when it's your kid and not your spouse for abuse. But other than that, there's really no real updates about VAWA. VAWA right now are taking 34 months to process. Limber says, good morning, Marina. Sending blessings from Florida. Limber Sargento. Hi, I'm going to be going to Florida on the 23rd, soon, in 2 weeks. Christofina says, my spouse, she's explaining that the spouse wasn't a U.S. citizen, that the spouse petitioner is just a permanent resident, and he filed for his kids in 2018, got approved, sent to NBC, but we haven't heard anything yet. They're over 21, so they went already in the next category right now. So as of right now, right, the F2B category. So the kids of green card holders who are over 21 and single is F2B category. And as I said, it's about 3 more years. They're working on September 2015. You filed in May 2018. So it's another 2.5, 3 years before they get to them. They're already in the over 21 F2B category. Just tell the kids not to get married. Otherwise, they lose this category completely. Portfolio says USCIS approved my adjustment of status. I-485 through my mom. I got my work permit and advance parole. I went to Mexico in March and I'm going to go again. Oh, great. Congratulations. But I want to fly to another country. When parole at port of entry, will there be any problem? Thank you, Hermosa, for your time. If you're traveling with advanced parole and you ask for multiple entries, you can go and come back. If you have a green card, you can go wherever you want, and as long as you stay under like a couple of months, you're fine in any country. Westham Elsa Walha says, good morning. What happens to work permit after the court disarmed and revoked USCIS? What does that mean? I don't get it. Dismissed, court dismissed and revoked USCIS. It's going to be renewal as before we got into immigration court. It's going to be as initial one. So you're not using the right words, but I assume that your court proceedings were dismissed and you're waiting for USCIS to process something. I don't understand, so maybe you could clarify with Sam. I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. Damliola said my wife submitted I-130. Okay, so I answered that already. Mohammed Sharifur says, hi, can I add a new lawyer after submitting a VAWA? Mohammed, absolutely. We take over for other lawyers all the time. Give us a call, 718-769-6352. We will talk if we think you have a good case and we can help you, which is more important. Give us a call, the number on the bottom of the screen. If you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook, 718-769-6352. If you're watching me on Instagram, my number is in my profile, but it's the same number, 718-769-6352. Okay. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Jamila says, thank you so much. You're the best. God bless you. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching. It makes me happy. Yasser Ibrahim asks an interesting question. Hi, Marina. If someone is diagnosed with cancer, can that person expedite his bona fide determination and work permit with you, visa with USCIS? I think yes. Give us a call. We can probably help you figure this out with a doctor letter. You can expedite. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. Wassam is clarifying that the court case was dismissed and you were refiling. If you ever had a work permit before, you're filing for a renewal. It's not the first one. It's a renewal. Even if you've been in court before, it was dismissed, now you're filing something else with USCIS. It's a renewal work permit. You asked if it's a renewal or initial. You check off renewal. S. Himji says, hi, beautiful. What's going on with DACA? What is stopping that from moving forward? DACA right now is dead, still dead. So anyone who had DACA, who was smart and lucky enough to file when it was working, you're keeping DACA. If you have it, you're keeping it. It's not going anywhere. New people, even though I always meet people who are eligible for DACA. I just met somebody last night from Bangladesh. He came here in the 90s through a family member. He was like 12. He went to school here and even college. So he was eligible for DACA, but never filed it for some reason. I don't know why. He could have already filed it and got a green card through marriage to a U.S. citizen that he had. But no, he never did. People like him cannot file for DACA anymore. DACA is dead. There's no news. I don't know why it's taking so long. It's summer. I think a lot of people in Congress are on vacation. That's why. Joloaso Ali says, good morning. Do I need to prove annulment marriage because the previous marriage divorce cannot be verified after I already done the divorce here in America? I don't know. I think it depends what state you're in, and maybe you should call us for a consultation. I can't tell you in a show. It's a complicated question you're asking. It's not that simple. Phone number 718-769-6352. On the bottom of my screen, if you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook, on Instagram, it's the same phone number. It's also in my profile, 718-769-6352. Muhammad Sharifur Rahman says, after I filed VAWA, can I apply for my child for a visa? Because I'm also on asylum and my special child is having no one to take care of her. First of all, you can include your child in your VAWA petition. And also, you could file for your VAWA or for your child, the special child who's included in your VAWA petition, a special petition I-824 right now, so that when you are approved for VAWA, the kid also gets approved, and they come in through consular processing with immigrant visa, which becomes a green card as soon as they enter here. Okay. Okay. I hope that helped. Jay Fobank says, what is happening with immigration courts? I was supposed to have my last court hearing this September, but the system says now I have no future court date. Should I be worried? They're probably reshuffling, reassigning cases. What happened is a lot of new judges were appointed recently. So since new judges were appointed to reduce the wait times for everyone and reduce the calendars, they're taking some people off the calendar, but then adding them to new judges' calendars. Or, whatever. Maybe your judge went on vacation or got sick. You don't even know, So I would just wait. You don't have to be worried. It will be reassigned either to the same judge, to a later time, or to another judge. Abdul says, hello, can people use their own phrases do citizenship interview, or it has to be USAS phrases concerning civics test? You should use their phrases. They want you to answer exactly how they put it in the book. You can rephrase a little bit, but if they ask you what happened September 11th, you have to say it was a terrorist attack. Wassam says, hello, Marina, and thank you. And he also says, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Having trouble seeing the comments on Instagram on my screen, but I still see them on my phone. You can ask the question by posting. Chase Wilt says, good morning, ma'am. Is there any news on immigration court about the backlog and people waiting for the individual hearings to be heard? There's no news other than everybody's on vacation in the summer. People are going away. It's been a really slow summer, I have to say, even for us. So usually we're so busy, our phones are like blowing up. Everybody's calling, courts are reshuffled. I think this summer everybody's like taking it easy, quite honestly. So I think in the fall things will pick up. Very thirsty. My throat is dry. Another question about the Dignity Act. No news, unfortunately, no news right now. So let's talk about VAWA because I get so many questions about VAWA, and I want to talk about it because it's worth talking and discussing what's going on with VAWA. Let me just check USCIS.gov. If you're watching me on Instagram, then you won't see this, but if you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook, I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that you can see what I'm checking. And you can also use this way of checking for any case you have. Another way, it's an app that I'm completely not at all relating to, or I'm not sponsoring this app. They're not sponsoring me. I have no relationship, but it's a good app. It's called Lawfully, like law and then fully. So one word, Lawfully. App where you can estimate how long you have to wait. I like that app. Feel free to download it on your phone and check how long you have to wait there, or you could just go directly like I'm doing to USCIS and let's say you have VAWA, I-360 petition for a married Asian widow or special immigrant, and you have the violence against women VAWA category in the Vermont Service Center. 34 months from the date you file VAWA to approval. Although I have to say, I have had some cases recently approved after exactly 2 years. Quite a few cases, not everyone. Some we have to wait the full 34, 36, and sometimes months, but others approved after 2 years. So yes, 80% of cases are completed within 34 months, but once in a while things get approved quickly. And if you have a good lawyer like us who puts everything together from the beginning, breaks everything down, boom, 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 into categories, and the categories are good faith marriage, abuse, and good moral character. So joint paperwork, psychologist letter, reports from the police, family court orders, and witnesses. Your witness letters, that proves abuse too. Finally, good moral character is your police clearances and anything that says you go to church, you go to mosque, you go to synagogue, you go to a community center, you help out this organization, that organization, good moral character. Taxes, you're working and paying taxes. That's also good moral character. You have those things organized like we do, numbered, labeled, understandable, translated into English, everything should be fine and you can get approved much quicker than 34 months in some cases. All right, so let's see other questions here. UK says, my parents are on B2 visa and they expired in January 8, 2023. They never stay more than 5 months. I want to renew their visas for them. Do they allow interviews, waivers or not? It will be the same category. Of course, it's up to the consul to decide, but the interview waivers are mostly for people renewing work visas, okay? Or like other kind of temporary visas. I think they will still have an interview for the tourist visa. They might have an interview anyway. And Abdul wants to know, hello, can people, I answered this. Okay, I answered this. UK says, thank you. Marcella MM says, hi, Marina. VAWA processing is 34 months. Correct, we just looked it up. But the working permit and travel parole takes 8 months, sometimes up to 18 months. So they will arrive before or all come together at 34 months. So from the date you file, Marcella, after about a year, you will get the advanced parole and the work permit. Then you still need to wait for maybe another 24 months for the full 34 months for VAWA to be approved. But no, it can't. So basically, your question: the work permit, the EAD or the employment authorization, and the advance parole from the date you filed, 8 to like 18 months it takes. It depends. Some people get it sooner, some people get it later. Okay. So no, you don't have to wait as long for the approval of the work permit and the advance parole as the VAWA. It's going to come a lot sooner than the VAWA will be approved. I hope this is clear. Instagram questions. Chase Wilt, I answered. Also, Chase says immigration court, they keep moving my individual hearing date since 2020. They bumped it. Now they moved it again to 2025 January. They move it every year. Is it a good sign or bad? It's not good or bad. It's just the way it is. It means nothing. It just means that they're disorganized and they keep moving it out. If you really can't wait, you can make a motion to advance or like to speed up your court hearing date. You can. It's doable. Okay. I think that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your attention to our show. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of your questions. Instagram community, I love you. Thank you so much. Find me on YouTube and become a subscriber for longer videos for a little bit different format. YouTube is where I spend more time slowly explaining things, not in so much of a rush like I do for Instagram or TikTok. Find me on TikTok. You can find me there as well. You're welcome to Chase Wilt, who says thank you. And thank you to my community on YouTube and Facebook watching me here. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.